Well, it's time for another relationship advice. This one is from another lady who is going through a mysterious relationship, a very strange kind of relationship. So let's get to it. Dear Dragon, I need your help. Been dating 1 year. He lives with family, but I live with housemates. I haven't been allowed to visit his house for 1 year. I don't even know his address. He said his house is too messy. For me, I said I need to know where he lives before opening up my home to him. So on weekends, he books hotels simply because we won't allow each other to each other's houses. What got weird when he introduced me to his mum on a random road. I wasn't allowed to go inside the house. Another time we had a date, we booked Uber to drop us off at our homes. I put his postcode first. He told Uber to drop him off at a road far away from his house. He waited till Uber had gone to go to his house. Another thing is on weekends I wasn't allowed to call him until 1 p.m. because I may wake his siblings. I think something is going on. Whew, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Look, if this was if this was just an ordinary guy, there wouldn't be any conflicts, right? Um, if he if he lives with his family, sooner rather than later, there would be no big deal for him to show you his home, right? And let's just say, let's go over some of the possibilities one by one, right? The first one is that his family doesn't allow him to date, or his family has a certain restriction on who he should date. Maybe his family is uber religious or uber particular, in which case he would have told you about that, right? He would have told you in advance, hey, this is the reason why you're not allowed to come, etc., etc. And you also met his mom on a random road. So things aren't adding up. There's a lot of things that you're telling me that are really, really, really weird. Like the fact that you're not allowed to call him before 1 p.m. on weekends. Like, because his siblings might be sleeping. Now, honestly, whose people's siblings are sleeping? Who only awakes at 1 p.m. on Saturday? Most people, if they have the Saturday, they're going to be waking up 9, 10, and they go out on a Saturday, or they, go shopping, run their errands, go to the beach, whatever. But you're not allowed to call him. Something strange is going on. Could it be that this guy parties a lot at night and he can only wake up after 1 p.m.? That's the reason you're allowed to call him? Next thing is, you met his mom on a random road. So, if that really is his mother, why aren't you being called to his home? Because if you met his mom, surely his mom would say, hey, that girl you're dating, why don't you invite her over? I want to get to know her. Any guy's mom would probably just say that, or have questions about the girl, or ask about the girl. But she's not asking about you? Something's off. Something is really off. And then, when you dropped him off in Uber, firstly, it's the guy's responsibility to take care of an Uber. Why are you getting him an Uber? it should be the other way around. But come back to that. He jumped off at a location that was further away from his home. So Sherlock Holmes always says, if you take away every impossibility, whatever remains, however unlikely, is the probable truth. So here's the thing. I've listed things, he could be, it's definitely not the fact that his parents are wary of who he's dating, because you seemingly met his mom, right? That's one. Secondly, it's not that his house is messy, because once again, A, you met his mom, and B, if somebody's house is messy, right? One of my good friends, when he used to invite his partner over, he'd make sure his home was sparkling clean. Right, he would make sure that his home was sparkling clean. He'd wake up early, like early in the morning, clean his home, and make sure his house is sparkling clean before anyone even gets in here. I also, myself, I also make sure my house is super clean before, if I'm going to invite anyone over, any person over, I make sure my house is really, really clean. In fact, maybe most of the time if you visit me, you'll probably think, oh, this guy's house is quite clean. So it's not that. Could he be married? Oh, I mean, that's a possibility. That's another possibility. And I think that's one of two likely outcomes. He could be married. And that's the reason why you met his mother on a random road, and you haven't yet went to his house. Or he could be doing some crazy stuff. That could explain him only answering calls at 1 p.m. on Saturdays. That could explain why you haven't been to his house. That could explain the random roads. Like, he might be doing some dodgy stuff, like selling drugs, or like really dodgy criminal stuff. So I would just stay away from this one, because here's the thing. You pointed all of this out. You stated the scenarios. You came here with these scenarios, which means in somewhere in your head you know that this guy is messing around with you. So in your head, in your heart, you already know that, hey, maybe I shouldn't stay involved in this relationship. So when your gut instinct tells you that something is off, it probably is. So run, get away from this right now. Yeah, so guys, if you have any comments, put them down below. Let this person know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.